Hello, YouTube, and the internet as a whole. I wanted to put this fight at the beginning because I had a lot of fun with this fight. This was a solo host that I invaded, and that can potentially be a bad omen, depending on the player. You never really know what you're getting into with solo hosts. It could be anything from a fun little duel to a three-man blue-infested gank. But this was just a very fun fight. This player was very good, and I was using a build that was very fun to play with, so I wanted to put it here. This build is Alchemist Aisha, a consumable item-centered spellblade that I made. She uses pots and gravity stones and perfumes and any manner of consumable items that are available in combat. And yeah, the consumable items are many and varied in this game, so I thought it would be interesting to make a build centered around them. And this is the result. This was a really fun fight, and I have had a blast doing invasions with an Alchemist Aisha over the last few weeks, but this is not a build video. This is a video geared towards newer players who maybe are just now getting into PvP in this game. Maybe they're just starting to invade, they decided to give it a shot. Or even players who are new to From Software games in general. This is a video that's akin to something that I would have liked to hear, or would have been useful to hear when I was just starting out with Invasions, or with these games in general. There's a lot of content creators out there that you might watch, maybe Chase the Bro, or Lost, or any number of sterilized, cloned arena PvP players, and that's fine. Maybe you see them win a bunch of arena fights, or maybe you see those players win a bunch of invasions and you decide to take some pages out of their book. Or maybe you have no interest in PvP and decide to go through the game by yourself to see if you're up for the challenge because you heard it was really hard. And so you go to YouTube for advice on how to make a build, and you inevitably see 10 million videos about how and why you should make a bleed build to steamroll the entirety of the game. Well, I am here to say that the game gets better when you use your imagination a little bit. Maybe you find a weapon or a spell that nobody mentions in those videos, probably because there are 1,000 different things that outclass it in every aspect in the game. And to that I say, try using it anyway, and see what happens. The worst thing that happens is your screen says you died and you lose some runes. That spell right there, and this spell right here, almost never hit. But sometimes they do. And that's the fun of it, really. Every character that I make, I give them a small niche that I want them to do. I try to figure out how to make something work, maybe a spell that looks cool, or a weapon that I think is really cool. And I spend some time invading with them, or going through the game, figuring out how it works. This build right here, I made recently using the Magma Worms blade, because I like the Ash of War on it, the Magma Guillotine. My goal with this build is to beat players using Magma Guillotine, which rarely hits. But when it does, it's extremely rewarding, and it's a lot of fun. It makes it worth it. This character right here, Halig Vortex June, is a character that I made to use the Crucible Knight weapons, because I wanted to make a character that was sort of themed around vortex shapes or spiral shapes. And so everything, all of the Ashes of War on this character, make a circular motion of sorts. This character, again, is Alchemist Aisha, my consumable item Spellblade. This character I really did not expect to be as good as they are, but I had a ton of fun doing invasions with them, and I won much more invasions than I expected to. They're profoundly more versatile than I expected this build to be. Every character that I make is sort of like this in a way, to some extent. Some are more unique than others, I think. But of course, none of this stuff guarantees that I win every invasion or any invasion. But neither will using meta setups. None of these builds will plow through boss fights in seconds, but that's fine, because I learned how to enjoy all of the boss fights without being ridiculously overpowered. As a result, I find that the game has much more depth now. I've put over 1,500 hours into this game, and I still look forward to playing it all the time. There's no lack of things for me to try doing in this game, because I'm not limiting myself to playing as optimally as possible, because I'm only trying to play the game. I really only care about having fun fights. I don't care if I win or not, as long as I am able to do cool stuff, or goofy stuff, or try something new. Because I don't limit myself to playing as optimally as possible with ready-made YouTube builds, the game gets better when you use your own noggin instead of relying on someone else's. Anyway, that's all for this video. I hope everybody is having a great day, and I'll catch you later.